Hello students, in last lesson we have discussed what is physics, some branches of physics like mechanics, and what the two terms rest and motion basically mean. In this second lesson of motion of physics class ninth, we will discuss why the term rest and motion are relative, what are physical quantities, and types of physical quantities as scalar and vector quantity. So let us start. Now let us understand why rest and motion are related term with an example. Suppose you and your friend are sitting in a moving train and your uncle has come to leave you at station who is standing on the platform. This is the first situation of train and this is the second situation of train after 10 minutes as the train is moving. Now let us understand what your friend and your uncle observe. In this situation, your friend observed that you are at a distance of 50 centimeter from him. And in this second situation, again your friend observed that you are at the same distance of 50 centimeter from him. So he conclude that you are at rest because you are not changing your position with the passage of time. Now see what your uncle observed that in this situation you are at a distance of 2 meter from him. And after 10 minutes in this situation he observed that you are at a distance of 1 meter from him. So he conclude that you are changing your position with passage of time. It means you are in motion with respect to your uncle. So students, have you seen? You are at rest with respect to your friend, but you are in motion with respect to your uncle. That's why rest and motion are relative terms. Relative terms means we are explaining or we are describing position of an object with respect to some surrounding. Okay, if an object is at rest with respect to one surrounding, then it might be in motion with respect to other surrounding at the same instant of time. So from this example, we can conclude state of rest and state of motion are relative and they depend on the choice of the surrounding with respect to which surrounding we are describing the position of an object. Let us take another example that you are swinging in your garden and there are some persons moving in the garden. So what you will observe that you are in motion with respect to these persons moving in the garden, but you are at rest with respect to swing itself. So students, try to find out example of relative motion in your everyday life. You will understand this concept better. Okay? Now physics is known as the exact science. Why? Because in physics exact measurements are done. That's why a term arises physical quantity. So what does this quantity mean? A physical quantity is a physical property in physics that can be measured. Let us take some examples to understand. For example, length. Length is a physical property which can be measured. Suppose the pen you hold this time is of 12 centimeter. Your height is 5 feet 9 inch. So length is measured. That's why it is a physical quantity. Again, take another example as mass. Mass is another physical quantity. Suppose your mass is 50 kilogram. The mass of the notebook you have is 100 gram. So mass is also such a physical property which can be measured. Hence mass is also a physical quantity. Take another example, time. Time is also physical quantity. Why? Suppose there are two events A. The event A happening at 10:20 am and event B happening at 10:20. So you can calculate the time interval between two, that is 5 minutes. It means the time can also be measured between the two events. That's why time is also a physical quantity. Another example is temperature. Temperature is also a physical quantity. Temperature of a boiling water is 100 degrees centigrade. At this time, the room temperature is 32 degrees centigrade. So temperature is also measurable. So it is also a physical quantity. Next example, you can say volume. Volume is also a physical quantity. Suppose when you buy 1 or 2 liter of oil from the market, then 1 or 2 liter, that represent what? That represent a physical property, volume, which is measurable. So volume is also a physical quantity. Another example you can take is speed. Speed is also a physical quantity. Speed denotes how fast an object is moving. The faster the object moves, the greater the speed will be. It means speed can also be measured. Hence it is a physical quantity. Okay. Now, before going in detail with types of physical quantity, we have to understand what the term magnitude means. Magnitude. Magnitude actually means how much or size. It gives us the size of an entity. For example, when you go to market to purchase sugar, then what the shopkeeper asks? Shopkeeper asks you how much quantity of sugar do you want? Then you say 2 kilogram. Then here 2 kilogram. In 2 kilogram, this quantity, this numerical value 2 represents what? Magnitude. Suppose you have a scale of length 15 centimeter. Then this 15 represents what? Magnitude of scale, and centimeter is the unit of measurement. Okay. For example, the temperature is 32 degrees centigrade. Then this 32 represent what? This 32 represents the magnitude of temperature, and degree centigrade is the unit of measurement of temperature. Okay, I hope you understand. Now, students, every time only magnitude does not give us the complete information. Sometimes direction is also required. For example, let us see the next slide. Suppose this boy has information that if he apply 5 Newton of force, if he apply 5 Newton of force on the door, then he can open the door. But what happen if he apply a force of 5 Newton in this direction, or he can also apply the force in this direction? Then the door will open? No, the door would not open. It means to open the door, he must have to apply the force of 5 Newton and in a particular direction toward himself. Then only the door will open. Now you see how the direction is important for an information. So on this basis, physical quantities are divided into two types: scalar quantity and vector quantity. So scalar quantity are those physical quantity which are completely described by its magnitude only. Only magnitude. For example, length, mass, time, temperature, density, speed, etc. And the other one is vector quantity, a physical quantity which is described completely by its magnitude as well as direction is called a vector quantity. For example, velocity, force, weight. Now understand, have you heard that my mass is 50 kilogram in north direction and 60 kilogram in south direction? Is it possible? No. It means that mass does not depend on direction. Hence mass is a scalar quantity. Similarly, density. is the density of any substance vary with direction? Suppose a substance has density of 19 kilogram per meter cube. Then will its density vary if it go in northeast direction? No. So these are such quantities which does not depend on direction. That's why these are called scalar quantity, because a complete information having magnitude is enough to describe these quantities. For example, speed. If someone says that a car is traveling at a speed of 40 miles per hour, then here 40 miles per hour gives us only magnitude. We don't have any information about direction. So speed is a scalar quantity. But if one says a car is traveling 40 miles per hour due north, then here direction is also with the magnitude. That quantity is known as velocity, and hence velocity is a vector quantity. Similarly, force, in the previous slide we have seen how the force impact is changes with direction. So force is also a vector quantity. Weight. Weight is also a vector quantity, because weight has a direction. Weight has a direction towards the center of the earth. But mass is a scalar quantity. It has no direction. Thank you.